What a fun plane. I really like the drag rudders. They keep the plane going nice and slow. You get lots of time to think about your maneuvers. Welcome back to Motion RC. Today we have the Skynetic Piaget down here on the table. We're going to be doing a full assembly video for you today and showing you how to get yours up and ready to go flying with. Let's get into this build down below. Tech specs for this model. It has a wingspan of 33.2 inches or 844 millimeters, a length of 36 inches or 920 millimeters. The motor is an AS2206 V2 brushless power system. The propeller is a 9x4.7 two-blade electric prop. The ESC for this model is a 12-amp brushless ESC with an XT60 connector. Servos, there's 3 8-gram standard servos. It's EPP foam, and the battery is a 2-cell 7.4 volt LiPo, 350 to 600 milliamps. First step for your Skynetic airplane is to lay this out on the table, guys. Dry fit all your carbon spars into the model. Slide everything together and make sure it fits correctly before we do any kind of gluing. Once you're happy with how it is, take you some thin CA or medium. Run that down the spar of one wing. Now be careful because it's going to try and stick to the table, so you may have to just kind of slide it back and forth a little bit to keep it from sticking to the table. I'm going to use a little bit of activator to set this off. Alright, now that we're happy with the fitment of that wing, we can slide the other wing in. Take our thin or medium CA and run it down this spar. Alright, now that the wings have dried, we're going to take and we're going to CA. Now, you want to be careful not to accidentally CA on the hinges of your control surfaces, right here. These two parts have to move. So no CA between these two spots, only here. Now we're going to take a little bit of thick CA right here just because it's easy enough to get it in here. You could still use your thinner, your medium, but I had the thick. Squirt that in here. And stick those two pieces together. Now we're going to glue the bottom of the top of the fuselage on. We're going to take that thick CA once again and we're going to squirt it around all the parts that fit down in here. And place it in. The tab is going to go towards the front for the top of the fuselage. Now at this point, make sure you get this completely 90 degrees. If you have a square edge, that's a good thing to hold, or the corner of your table like I show here. Now I'm going to take some more of that thick CA. We're going to glue the bottom part of the fuselage on. This time I'm just going to squirt it around the inside of each of these holes. Press it down in there. And if you've got a triangle or some kind of a 90-degree checker, let's make sure that our fuselage is perfectly 90 degrees. Build it square, it'll fly great. Okay, these are the reinforcements for the side of the fuselage. These go on the bottom. As you can see, they go in at an angle to make kind of a triangle. Hold them up there and squirt you some thin CA down the tops. Let this set up fully. So this is how the wheels go together for the kit. Be careful here. I accidentally got a little bit too much CA in this hole, and it ended up gumming up the wheel. I had to sit there and run it for a bunch of times to get it to loosen up again. But just be careful when you glue these on that you don't get too much CA in that hole. Alright, so to put your wheels in, they just slide in from the top. They make an X, and there are 2 pre-cut holes that they receive into. Go on and put you a dab of thick CA down in these holes, or thin if that's all you have. To affix your landing gear, make sure to check at the top that your landing gear are still straight. And then I took some CA and put it around where they touch the foam on the inside of the X. Now to put our fairings on, these just get held up in place. I had to cut mine just a little bit to get them to go around the wheel and set flatly how I liked them. Once again, you want them parallel with the airflow, so you want these to be at the same angle as the wing if you can, so you're not making lift either way. Hold them on there, shoot some glue in, and then you're going to take and go up the carbon spar to affix them to the landing gear themselves. Now for the wheel pants, we just put a little dab of glue right here on the outside. Don't need much. And we're going to make sure they're both the same angle as each other. Now we need to glue our rudder on. I'm using some thick CA here, so we fill this gap really good. Line up our graphics. We don't want them to be off. And we're going to hold that until it sets off. Now for our top little wing here, put a little bit of thick CA on and pop it on. So these are your air brakes. We're going to put these together and then take a little bit of thin CA and shoot them around the holes. Be careful with these, they are very fragile. If you push too hard, you will break them. And there's your completed air brake. Now, you can just press fit these on and they will stay on. Or if you want to do like me, I actually just glued mine on. I didn't want them to fall off in the future, and I just want them to be there. So it's up to you if you want to fly it a few times, see if you like it with or without them. They will press fit on and just stay on their own. All right, this is how your motor mount goes together. It's made up of 8 little boards that click together and then glue with CA. And then once you're done, it just slides on in the X mount here on the front of the fuselage. Then take you some CA and run it around the outside of all of your boards. We want to make sure this is good and strong, because remember, the airplane's hanging off of this thing. First step on your electronics is put your motor on. It's as simple as 4 screws getting screwed in. This is how the servo mounts in with the control rods coming out. There's these little wood pieces that you're going to have to glue on that strengthen it. You have your elevator and your rudder servo. Once again, it goes from your linkage into those wood stops that I was telling you about. These keep that from ever turning on you all the way back. Now, on your control rod or control horns, they have a back plate, but it doesn't actually hit. So I just poked them through and put some glue on those control horns. Now this is where I mounted my electronics at. As you can see, I've got the Admiral Stability Gyro. We have our XT60 connector going into our ESC right up to the motor. On my gyro, you can see here that I've got the antennas pointed towards the back and the front. And I pushed my ESC wires through the fuselage right here. There was already a hole, and that just took up the length of the wire. And that's how you put your electronics in, guys. Nice and easy. So there you have it, the assembly of the Piaget from Skynetic. We're all ready to go out and fly and have us a great time. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new to Motion RC, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, and whether it be by land, sea, or air, we have something for everyone here at Motion RC.